a dual thing, like when
but if you're right to the house here and
in fact, you can, another way to save money from living in this estate, you can, when you were generating too much power.
I don't really mind sort of because of that sort of nature of sort of economics and how sort of like public schools and paper and stuff like that. The one thing about this though, and it's quite didn't really come up with, is that they're all the same types of panels, which means that they're all the same.
No, like in Denmark, a lot of the turbines
are
in fact between like villages,
but they are different houses.
But they are not like compared to mini.
Rather than it came up.
Not a big one shared between people who do get a substantial amount of energy.
Structure. Rather than sort of like single people, childless couples, older people.
There's a bit of confusion in my mind if we're kind of designing a brand new estate or just trying to fix this one.
Yeah,
that's never really got resolved.
At a certain level, it's open, but I think it's interesting that the amount of estates like this in Ireland, and that they are dysfunctional in lots of ways, and certainly, they're all heated by oil, and it's getting more and more expensive. There are definite problems with them, and an awful lot of them rely on carbon. Like, here, this estate is allowed to be built here because it's beside Boyle. But we kind of figure that there's not many people living here working Boyle. Like a lot of them would be driving to Sligo, Carrick, driving distances. So that sense that it's sustainable to build denser housing beside towns is entirely bogus, because a town like Boyle doesn't have huge employment opportunities. So for me, I think it's interesting to look at the existence of these places and what can be done with them.
Yeah, I'd definitely go for some kind of communal glass house or something in the centre. Could be a multi-purpose space, like a composting space. You could have stuff growing around the outside of it, but also, you could have a bar in there with all like wines and beers and stuff that people on the estate make. Kind of have a little shop with stuff, produce and stuff that people on the estate make. And so it's kind of like a total communal space for living.
It'd be cool if you had a glass house, and then like if you're building one, build it a little bigger and have like a little sunroom in there with a bar, some day tables, and then like you go in there and sit in there on nice days and stuff. Or maybe even that when it was raining.
Like compassing, so like a woodland, have an area of compassing where you could like have your own fuel and stuff to make things.
If there's things that you can't, like there probably wouldn't be enough compassing area for all the wood, and there wouldn't be a turf, and there wouldn't be enough to probably provide all the milk, like space for enough cows and goats to provide all the milk and all the meat and things like that. So maybe if there was certain farmers not too far out of town that wanted to do those kind of things or have that on their land, that they could then be allowed to come in and use, like the TV watching space or the film space. Or the bar, and like have kind of like that swap between sort of more estatey living and farmy living. And then you're not under so much pressure to have all the animals here and have people taking care of them.
The other thing is the densities here that you're not going to, like it's not going to be self-sustaining, and even if it's all in vegetables, it wouldn't necessarily completely feed you, but it lessens the load of what you're bringing in from elsewhere. Like instead of what we're doing here, describing for this estate how you plan it to live here in a different way, you could also make a kind of a kit of parts that a community could choose from. So you could choose the crash, babysitting, laundry room attached to pool hall, or you could choose the kind of 15 polytunnels
and it could still evolve as it could be a very elderly estate, and they wouldn't need the crash facilities, but they could use that room for something else, and then times change, after a few wars happen or whatever, you know, and then next thing you know, oh well, if there's young people in that estate, and that they'll use the room for something else, you know.
So then there's kind of flexible rooms that,
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
that could be, like there's